So anyway, Steve,
Yeah.
you write advertisements. Would
I
you
do.
tell us about that? Tell us about that.
I write advertisements.
Uh-huh.
So you write advertisements?
You're a man of many words.
The Federal Aviation Administration pops in on us at the school at Smithfield. They pop in, they'll sit in a classroom, and they will look for things that might disturb them.
Like,
Well, like not paying attention, like eating, like sleeping, like watching videos on a laptop.
and that's just the teacher, right?
Huh?
That's just the teacher.
Well, the teacher immediately gets off YouTube when he walks in the door.
And there's also a Dragon dictation software.
Wait, what?
Dragon. You know, you have to feed it, you know, get some...
Oh, that you meant you were
Bring your hay.
dragging it.
No, we only do that with the patients.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was the one thing that you think was in your diet that was key to take out that started that change for you?
For me, the big change was pop, soda,
okay.
depending on where you live in the U.S.
See, it's pop here, soda in the
Cola.
south, cola
East
in the
Coast.
south. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
The carbonation was my big problem. I always thought it was the caramel, so I always tried to go to a 7-Up or a Sprite kind of drink, but it didn't matter. It was the carbonation for me. It just made my stomach upset all the time. I drank probably half a 2-liter to 2-liter a day.
Wow.
That's a lot
And
of bubbles.
unbeknownst
Half a
to me,
2-liter, that's like a liter, right?
yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
okay.
Sorry.
You're going back to Europe
that's why
again,
I'm not a
aren't you?
teacher. That's right. That's not my thing.
So a husband in training. So you train other husbands eventually?
No, no, I won't do that.
So how many miles do you think you've ridden in your whole career as a bicyclist?
Glad you asked.
Now, we've never met before.
It's on the order of 140,000.
Wow.
lifetime.
140,000 miles?
How much of that was downhill?
Oh, half.
So that was the easy part.
Right, because I always end up in the same place. It has to be half and half.
But it was downhill the other way too, right? Because that's
Downhill both
opposite.
ways.
That's the opposite of
We've
what
never
my
found
grandpa
that one. We keep looking for it.
said.
And I wasn't one of those weird massage therapists either, because
With beads and
yes, and
And,
I can feel
harpsichords.
your aura.
Stones.
that's good. And your chi was people's chi out of
Yes,
line?
their chi.
Yeah.
Oh, I've actually done some of that polarity therapy where you do the energies of the body
Oh,
and worked
interesting.
on people, and especially with people with amputees. You actually have to work the part that's missing
Really?
because they have ghost feelings in there
Okay.
that still get sent to their body. So when you do that polarity therapy, you actually work on those parts.
Oh, that's
as well.
interesting.
It's
kinda like
very
your ex-wife,
interesting.
Tony.
Some of each language, but they don't know either very well.
What was the biggest struggle that you had in that situation?
Well, I think any new teacher struggles like crazy. And for me, my first year teaching, I taught 7th grade self-contained, which means I had 7th graders all day long. And we had an extra long day because our school, our kids were lower academically. And we didn't have any specials teachers, so no gym class, no music class, no art class. It was basically just a one-man show.
Wow.
So nothing special.
I
at
didn't
your
have a
school.
Lee Daly backing me up out there.
And just lately have gotten involved in a place that refurbishes older bikes, either yard sale bikes or trade-ins or things that castaways, that sort of thing, and they refurbish them into serviceable bikes. And then they make them available to low-income people and to homeless people who may need transportation but really can't afford it.
So we write plays and perform them.
Yeah.
We had a circus last year,
Yeah.
built our own big top, and had human cannonball and
Well, that sounds
the
fantastic.
tattoo lady, lion tamer. Yeah. But this year, one of our big events was the Old Camp Berkey Wrestling Smackdown. Asylum Prisoner, Sweet Preacher was Twisted Sister. Bobcat Scarface was Pale Face. Captain Cardinal, I think The Mountain.
Oh, the mountain. Very menacing.
Or Disco Unicorn. I forget, she was a pirate, and I can't really remember her name. She faced off against some cave woman. I can't keep all the
With a
names
bag?
straight, but
Is that a greasy bag?
That's a club.
Oh.
Night Stalker. There, Eric the Cleric. I was Crustacean. My theme was purple. Has to fill out an
Now,
application.
speaking of celebrities, do you like chips?
Eric Estrada is one of the best actors I've ever seen.
The chips that I'm talking about would be like the kind that you ingest, not the kind you fawn over.
As in potato?
Yeah.
We have such a large organization, everything's really siloed. We've got corn, we've got cows, we've got pigs. There's no pig wrestling. That's only after hours, like behind the mud.
So did you ever have any problems with the convertible? Did it ever leak or anything like that?
Yes, one time. What happened is it was an old top, the original top on it, and my cat, whose name was Shat, was sleeping on top of the car, and Shat fell
a joke that
right
I'm not even
through.
going to touch.
Fell right through the top of the car.
Your cat's name was Shat.
Shat. My
Shat
son
the
named
cat.
the cat Shat.
Is that a past
the cat.
tense of anything?
No.
Can we edit
No,
this out
not
later?
Well, Shat fell through right over where the driver's side is, right over the top. It put a big slit in the top of the car.
What do you do at the hospital?
I'm what they call a phlebotomist.
Say it again.
A phlebotomist.
Can you spell that?
Phlebotomist.
It's not a lobotomist, it's a
Oh,
phlebotomist.
goodness.
That's what you had, Tony.
You walk out here at Fort Wayne, you walk out with 2 credentials. That's what happens here.
So how many letters is that after your name?
It could be 1, 2, 3.
Senior
it
scholar.
it could be AAS, comma, A plus P. That's what you'll generally see.
That's
Sounds
like when
like
you
an
had that
equation.
acronym, Tony.
Yeah, it's what we call alphabet soup.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
So that's
The cow's heads.
Oh, okay.
I would trim the meat off. There's a lot of meat on a cow's head. Didn't know that.
didn't know that either.
You make good soup with those
The
heads.
day I got fired was the cow tongue. They sold that.
Sure.
And you'd cut that thing out and you'd set it there, and an inspector would come over and he'd look at it and he'd, okay, and then you took a brand and you branded it. Had state of Indiana, and I did that. This is about 2 weeks I'd been there. I did that, and he looked at it and everything's fine. And I'd never had this happen, but as soon as I hit the brand, I had it by the fat, and the tongue went like that over my hand. And I screamed like a second-grade girl. And I went like that, and I threw this thing, and it hit the inspector right in the back of the neck. And he turned around and yelled at me. I said, I think I'm done here. And I was.
Wow.
That was, yeah.
Wow.
Most of the issues could be resolved by a simple reboot. Sometimes your program crashed, sometimes something doesn't work, your computer's maybe been on too long, and it's just a heat issue, some weird glitch. Reboot. Most of the time it's going to fix, it's going to start working for you. And then if it doesn't, then you call your nephew and say,
Hey Johnny, get on the phone here. I can't fix this. Do a join.me session.
Can you do that again?
Hey Johnny!
yeah.
If you want a great book to read about Native, like growing up as a Native American, a modern Native American, the absolutely true diary of the absolutely true diary of a part-time Indian.
A wimpy? What?
No, there's no wimpy. This is not a wimpy book.
No wimpy kids here.
None.
One guy came in and where we volunteer, and he says, I need to have my brakes fixed, and he didn't have any brakes at all. I mean, the parts were missing from both the front and the rear brakes. He says, I got a new pair of shoes. He says, I don't want to wear them out trying to stop, dragging my feet.
Well, I can drive a truck, for goodness sakes. Let me drive this thing. I don't know. This is down in Texas, Clifton, Texas. I don't know if you should drive it. I said, I got this, trust me. And I'm driving up the driver's lounge, and I'm going through the gears. And I'm like, well, this is nothing. This is great. And I'm going around this bend, and the truck's leaning. And I said, well, you got to expect that. It's a big thing. And it just keeps leaning. And I said, well, it's a pretty steep, And I realized, my God, I think I'm falling. And I was. And bam, the whole thing. And the drivers heard the crash, and they had time to come out and stand and wait for me to stop skidding. And when they came, they said, the steering wheels are pretty big on these things. And I had my arms and my legs
They hit the sheets at about 7:30.
Yeah, so, you know, there's no kids in there. There's usually nobody in there. That
Except
was
for
their
maybe two,
opportunity.
maybe three.
I have no idea.